Guys, it's Jizun here. I'm just gonna go through your reviews for Marshall King's Retired Life. There's probably some questions or incorrect information in there that I'll address as well. But otherwise, it's just for some for some fun. Um, anyway, I haven't read them because I've got a pretty tight schedule. I'm prioritizing putting out chapters for you first. So this will be like my first time. I've read some of the older ones before, but I haven't seen any of the newer ones. So let's find out. G's takeaway. The start is a little weak, a little too perverted, and shows too little of the MC to really be interesting. But the story picks up by the end of the second volume, as the MC's layer are slowly peeled back and we learn much more about him. I think it's unfair to judge the story before the second volume, so at the very least, read the second volume before judging. Yeah, that's true. It's fairly stale in the beginning, a little bit with a lot of comedy there, but otherwise it's pretty stale, at least to me even. Um, I think Volume 3 so far has been picking up the most in terms of action, and uh, pacing is a lot quicker than the previous chapters too. But nonetheless, it's some of the things in there are really cool, like when he in the second volume where he was trying to track the uh, Black Wind's 13 Wings, and he was they had that one group come out and he was going to go after them. He wasn't going to go after them because he thought, it's a ploy when they're just trying to lure him into chasing that first group and then send out a second group. So he stayed back. Second group comes out and he goes, that's got to be them. Only to then find a third group, and you're trying to figure out, like, okay, so which one is it? You're reading, and I'm trying to figure out. At least when I'm reading, I'm trying to figure out what the heck's going on too. I thought that was a pretty clever move of the villains as well. Orgasm. I can't believe I have to say that name there. Decently funny, but sometimes the MC and plot just don't make sense. With yeah, this is pretty damn incorrect, because it's not about I must not use my OP strength. The thing is, the only thing he has is OP strength, and if he were to use it, he would reveal who he is. So I'm not sure. I must not use my OP strength. It's not really forced. I mean, I can't see how it's forced at this point because we don't even really know what the repercussions for him, for his identity being revealed are. So like if you were going to get a whole, if you so far we know he's on both sides of orthodox and unorthodox sects. He's involved with those good sects and then all those evil sects as well. And even the emperor knows him, and his shifu is a bit of a prick as well, causing trouble left, right, center. So nobody really knows what the repercussions are. So this is kind of an unfounded statement. Also, on the gay yaoi undertone with the trap and even a reverse trap now. It got old after the 10 times, and it's yeah. I mean, if you don't like the running gag, you don't like the running gag. I don't think that qualifies as making it good or bad. I mean, it's up to you really. I don't mind it. I'm not a fan of that. The joke kind of gets old for me too, but I don't mind it, and it certainly in no way does it qualify as quality of writing criteria. Dub Zero, barely interesting. The author throws in random thoughts the MC has in an attempt to be funny. I don't know, I think it's funny. The whole plot is pretty boring as well, to you at least, but not to the people who read it. So, MC goes around acting like a loser or supposedly strong. People can't see through his act for some reason. Um, what? They can't see through his act for some reason because he's never shown the skill. What do you mean? Um, I don't know. I'm lost. Helixical. Well written, but the premise is stupid. Also, the author must be a Japanese expert. No, he's an American expat. No, he's actually an exchange student in America. So, I don't really know what you're assuming there. As ridiculous of an idea as that is. Yeah, this is the same. I'm hilariously powerful, but I'll never actually make a move to solve my problems directly. Instead, I'm satisfied with having my nose rubbed in the dirt at every turn. Bullshit that I see in every Japanese novel I crack open. I I don't think being just powerful just like warrants or like empowers you to solve all your problems directly. Like just being strong and you can just solve all these issues. Like I'm pretty sure you can't take on a whole fucking nation. And by the sounds of things, he's got every single. He knows he's connected with everybody at this moment in the martial world, pugilistic world, and even the imperial court. Imagine trying to fight them all off if that's what the repercussions for him revealing his identity is. I'm not sure what he's saying by to solve my problems because so far we've solved the problems that he's come across. Like there was what's his name, um, Jappy, and then there was his father and the Orange Prince. They solved that. They got the records handed to the Emperor. It was the Emperor that didn't punish the Orange Prince. And so I'm not like it's not like he can do something about that. So I'm not sure what problems he's talking about because, as far as we know, the story has moved on only after the problem has been solved, and we don't even know the scale of the bigger problem he's trying to solve at this point. Besides him being lazy, we know that at the end of Volume 1, he's got his past is what he's trying to rectify, at least in his words. And we don't know the scale of that. So for you to say that I'll never solve my problems, I don't really know what problem he's talking about because the ones that we've come across have been solved. The only one that hasn't been solved is the one in his past, which we don't even know what it is. So I don't know. This review is rather weird to me. I mean, the author must be a Japanese expat. So yeah, his prediction is wrong. So I imagine every other prediction he's got is wrong too. Sorry if you're a she. I don't discriminate. I'm picky about which novels I pick up, so I thought this would be great based on the reviews. The story is amusing at times. However, it lacks depth and a goal or resolution to drive the story forward. Yeah, because we don't know what it is at the moment. There is nothing that attaches you to the MCL story. Lack of tension as well. Yeah, I agree, because it's not a high tension story at this point, at least. What volume? Yeah, volume 2. There's still no tension. I mean, it's at the end of volume 2 that we're starting to get more tension build up now with the revolt happening, which is the early volume 3. So we're currently at chapter 18 at the time of this, and it's when the revolt is getting sprung into action. So yeah. The translator fluid in translating. Thank you. Machine translators or semi-flexible, like a long bird, but translate like water. Yeah. For those who don't know about translating is never about taking the words from one language and just converting it into English. I've seen that done before. We call it literal translations. You're literally a machine, like an idiom. If you're reading a manga, manhwa, like and webtoon, I'm saying like manhwa is in the Korean and Chinese as well, or webtoon, whatever you want to call them. You'll see them put a lot of translator notes, and I really look down on that. I frown down on that. And the same thing with I frown upon that. Sorry, fucking weird English there. The same thing with people who use a lot of footnotes in their translations, because as you're reading, you come across a phrase or an idiom, and you don't really know what it means. You kind of have to guess, or you have to scroll down to look at the footnotes, or in the case of a manga or a manhwa, and you've got to like go look at the the what's it called, the translator note. It's annoying. Like it breaks your reading experience. It loses the fluidity. So I hate using it, and I try to sorry, I try to avoid using it wherever possible and limit its usage. So yeah, because translating is not just, as I was saying, it's not putting from Korean to English or whatever, and I've seen it done. I mean, Mangazuki's translator, Sika, he translates like that forever. It's horrible, he never learns. And it's the same thing, like you don't use you don't use Korean punctuation or Chinese punctuation into English, because in, like, say Chinese, you see that Chinese sentences can be really long with shitloads of commas in there. If you had a sentence like that in English, it's fucking toxic as to read, and it's weird. Right? Or say in Korean, you got hyphens, like if you're saying, in the future, it's like apro. I wouldn't be like you start it, you'd be like apro, but then it wouldn't be, you in English you would write future, you'd be like f hyphen and then future, whereas in Korean you'd be like f dot 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 and then future. So you can't translate like that. So, but some people will do that. So translating is, I think, Ren once said it is, Ren from Wuxia World, if you don't know, where you're trying to, when you're translating, you're literally rewriting it into English or whatever language it is you're translating into. It's not converting one word to the other because anybody can fucking do that with a dictionary. Um, so yeah, I thank you, Turbo Tales, for noticing that. I really appreciate that. Um, if other translators or other readers could see that, I'd be really thankful too. Not just for me, but for other translators. I just really appreciate the ability of a good translator to be able to rewrite. Like, I read some of Ren's stuff, and he's really good at what he does. The light novel itself is really good as well. It's a shame it doesn't have more people reading it. Yeah. We don't have many people reading it. That's a fact. It's a comedy. It took off, but then it kind of slowed down. It's a comedy puzzle with a bit of action. Yep. Yeah, it's a very slow. I think somebody said it back up here. The first, yeah, cheese takeaway. We've been basically peeling back layer by layer of an onion. Um, I think that's pronounced like that. This definitely ranks among my favorite. The protagonist is a breath of fresh air. He's not a hero. Yeah, he's an anti-hero. I like that. With his antics and everything, it reminds me of Wei Xiaobao from the Duke of Mountain Deer, Lu Dingji. Uh, I really like having those kind of characters. It's just it's a little bit of a different change rather than your goody two shoes. I love seeing his interactions and responses to others. Yeah, I like his responses too with the swearing and all. Like, I know some novels don't have swearing, but in this one you got straight up swearing and plenty of it too. Like the straight cussing, like he actually says fuck, he actually says bitch, bastard, all these kind of words. The humor is great, and believe me, I've never laughed for any. Yeah, I haven't really laughed at like Xianxia and Shanghai and stuff. I mean, everybody told me that Heavenly Jewel Change. I think yeah, I looked that up. I just couldn't remember that title. They told me it was really funny. I translated a chapter of it, I read a bunch of them, but like I don't know why it's funny. To me, it's not funny. So maybe we have different sense of humor, but to me, it's not funny. I like the comedy style of Marshall King's retired life. Yeah, the mystery of the main character itself will drive you anticipating for the next. Yeah, I kind of want to see his antics too, and the series moves fast and interesting. I don't know. I certainly don't feel like it moves fast. At least now it is in Volume 3, but not so much before. He's doing such a great. Thank you. Understands the great market. Yeah, it's a real pity that SF just won't be as supportive. I don't like. Somebody said, "Oh, they got nothing to lose, letting me translate it." Well, yeah, they have nothing to lose, but they have something to gain. Like for me to buy a license out with 5 figures, that's what 10k. So I highly doubt it's just 10k, but let's say it's 10k. That's 10k dollars to earn. Would you really say no to it? Kind of stupid comment from whoever said that some time back. I don't know about the person. I'm just saying that comment is stupid. If I could write character, I would. Yeah, I think this author has like god tier writing, like a blend of traditional and slang and modern day slang. He's playing words like a lot of the puns. Plays with a lot of puns, and even sometimes I'm translating things and I have to go back after I've translated the content to actually rectify the title because he played with the words and you don't get it on the first go until you read the content. Um, yeah, I mean it's one of the top ranked series on SF as well, so most popular obviously as well. For those who don't know, also the author, as I was saying, he studies in America as well, so he does know English. He actually lurks the site sometimes, so he's probably seeing your comments as well, and he's happy with the translation. So, you know, love this novel. This novel does justice to that setting. Doesn't take itself too seriously. Yeah, the humor is excellent. At least I don't know that it's excellent. Like I was saying, I don't like it when people say that. You like it or you don't like it. Really, you're gonna have to provide some more parameters if you're gonna say it's excellent or good. I've read 100 plus Chinese web novels by now, and the best ones are the funniest ones like this. I haven't read A Will Eternal. Sorry, I don't know how it compares there. I like this novel. It's a good novel. I was not paid for this review. I was not. I like this novel. Please end review and support the translator. Yeah, it's a light-hearted novel. So far, yeah, it's comedy. During long commute, the main character is the most powerful of injured in terms of fighting power. Shenanigans. I'm liking this review just because it's funny to me. Live a comfortable life in the employment of a policing force. Supporting characters have some sort of backstory to them most of the time and are exactly what they seem like. Some people call this 1D flat characters without much personality. Yeah, like it's not like Suncon where it's about the character development so much. They're just one dimensional. Like you got your straight laced Tang Ye, and you got what's his name, Su Xiao with his ridiculous naivety. Ming Fei Zhen with his kind of antics. He's like a thug literally. Sun Yun with her brutality and her flirtatious games with Ming Fei Zhen. Do die is something but the ones that do die don't have a lot of impact. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of characters dying left, right, center either. I'll let you guys can read that. There's four main characters. Ming Fei Zhen, yep. Yeah, I don't know about. Yeah, he's just too strong. He's not really like against status ailments. He's not really resistant or impervious to them. I don't think, at least not in the text so far. But rather, he's just so strong. He's so ridiculously strong that poison has no. If you've read other series, it might be like they trained to be impervious to poison, whereas this guy is just like so strong. He just is naturally impervious to them. He also likes girls. Yeah, he's always been thinking about lewd things like his shitful. In essence, he's a sleazeball. But yeah, various mainly in internal styles. It's comfortable to use them to their limits. So there's no character growth, but then, yeah. I mean, I think the growth was all in the back, and now we're getting the final version of everything that's culminated in his life thus far, and we're just looking at the final product right now, and we're going backwards as opposed to other series or another type of series, another style where you go start with your basic and you build up to a character. You've already got the character, and now you're trying to peel back and find him what he was like. Tang Ye, typical main character person, fights for honor to regain his family. Yeah, I think he's just getting for vengeance at this point. So yeah, he is straight laced. All he does is just train and just. Such as the trap character written like a girl's cross dressing in order to be accepting. They go along. Pretty law abiding, if a bit dull. I was saying, yeah, see, that's what I mean when somebody says, "Oh yeah, this character is a bit dull or dumb." In terms of what? In terms of the novel standards of intelligence. Like you need to write reviews, or when you say things, and even in live, you need to be talking like that. Seriously, and maybe with my psychology background, but we are in my bodybuilding background, nutrition, everything like that. But I'm very, very strict about when you're using definitions or when you say things. You gotta have the parameters. You can't just say things as if they're objective facts and that can be generalized. I haven't seen much of his backstory, but it feels right for it. Sometime in the future, he gets touching me. This isn't likes games. Yeah, okay. Sunny Ren. Yeah. Mingsu one is gets more screen time later. Otherwise, there's going to be no point in all those fans of her. I mean, she's got that little screen time. It'll be hard to. It was pretty strong, but now a shadow of its former self. Yep. Circumstances which ties her in the plot so far, and there's some character. Sun. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that one. I just find her she's pretty playful. I don't know if she's Sun though because she kind of goes along with Ming Fei Zhen's antics a lot. Yeah, I do like the dynamic between them. Yeah, I like their interaction. At this point, she's my favorite female character in it because of her interactions with him. She's willing to go along with his antics and her brutality. Like you can see back in Volume 1 where she just beats the other girl up, Sutuo, and she just beats the crap out of her in front of everybody with no shits given. Who is written to be the main heroine? Yeah. Yeah, it's gotta be. I mean, this is paced really, probably the slowest novel I've read. Even slower than Sun Conquer. That's pretty slow. I've shown any growth. Yeah, I think that's most of the characters already have grown, and now we're trying to peel them back. Maybe not Suniran actually. The translate is also very good on how to write entertaining secret. Yeah, it's trust me, it's this is a hard series for me to translate. Having translated shit tons of stuff because a lot of it I gotta sit, I gotta think, and I gotta like recreate the joke from Chinese into English, which isn't always the easiest task. In the beginning of Volume 3, we had the poem that was going in horizontal, could be read horizontally and vertically. With a certain limited number of characters, for me to do that, it'd be like creating a crossword. I can't do that, man. I really feel this was like god tier writing to be able to do that. Shows his true power, jumping into some comedy effort. Actually, the author, I guess, maybe very well suited to writing more. Yeah, maybe. I don't know that I share that sentiment, but maybe. The smattering of action scenes punctuate the various interactions between us I'm almost never bored of. I find the most appealing is the lightheartedness. Yeah, I like lighthearted stuff. The romance for this series, well, if you're wondering, is fairly weak. It's just not the main drive. I hate reading romance and watching romance too. I would never translate it because I just absolutely hate that genre. Anything heavily romance driven, I pass on. Um, just me. I just don't like it. It just feels boring to me. I'm not gonna say romance is bad because that's just my personal opinion. Even with a lot of modern Chinese wuxia, xianxia, Shenhuan series these days on TV, movies as well, it's always like, oh yeah, you got this really big thing happening in the background, but then you find that the main drive is actually just romance. If any of you watched, I think the English title from memory was God of War, Zhao Yun. I only watched that to watch what's her name, Jia Qing. She has brilliant acting. I would say number 1 at the moment. I can't wait. I think she just needs a popular series at this point. I was watching it for her, and Zhao Yun is, if you play Dynasty Warriors, you would know, an epic character. And they reduced his character to the whole story was literally revolving around romance for 30 something episodes, and then you've got like his, all these cool things he's done in the military for a couple of episodes here and there towards the end. Like, man, you can imagine how much of each episode I skipped. Okay, I admit that I was skipping to a lot of judging stuff, but at the same time, it was a lot of romance, and I just couldn't stomach it. Um, Laughing where he's laughing and listening. I suppose maybe because easily. There are certainly mistakes and areas which could be improved. Harder and more detailed descriptions. The real versus really. I think it's too detailed. Like I get to see those chapters where it's like an info dump, and I honestly don't like translating them. I think you guys would. I don't like reading them either. But thank you. I think this is a pretty good depiction, not a review, but a very good write up of an opinion. So, highly recommend. It's often humorous and exciting, but everyone in a while a little bit touching. And jungle, yeah. Unfortunately, it seems like we won't leave him alone. Yeah, but we don't really know what his past is either. It's just so dramatic at this point. It might be blown out of proportion, but who knows? I mean, surprising deep setting for the world. Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I have trouble remembering all these things too. The story is actually changed in many different, not fighting styles even, but just like ridiculously like top tier, god tier styles. Oh, I surely were, yeah. Super opinion against, I was on push on it. Yeah, yeah. I think this is pretty accurate. So comedy, yeah, it's just comedy, some serious here and there. Again, I don't ever jump on. If you're reading this, listening to, watching this, whatever it is, hoping that I'm going to tell you if the plot is good or not. I don't know. That's an opinion, good or bad. Whether I like it or not does not define it as good or bad. Unless it's, but nevertheless, it's not your usual face slapping arrogant mob stupid ass. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I feels like they're okay. It gets repetitive. I don't know that they're stupid ass arrogant, but okay. Yeah, I'll never forget the Baba joke with the long side hand. Good. I'd like to see what happens there. It's a chance. Oh, well, at least he's supporting the man. Yeah, it is repetitive. It's got a lot of running gags, like the yeah we trap running gag. This one, I think. Oof, I'm just gonna go to your content, man, because there's a couple more. I don't want to get too long. Comedic gold. I think it's funny if you like this style. If you like clever play on words, yeah, black humor or dark humor, whatever it's actually called. I don't even know the word for it. It's yours. It's not slapstick. If you like slapstick comedy, this isn't for you. He has the ability to back himself off. Yeah, read from different from the norm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like if we're being fair here, the number of novels we have here and novel updates, or even in the Western world for wuxia or Shanghai, is like maybe I don't know 1% of what's actually offered there in China. So I don't know. I don't think that statement is correct. Lack of tension to yeah, it's laid back. Can't seem to end. Can't see. Things can't seem to find an endgame plot yet. Is divulged at the current point. Yeah, that's correct. I don't know that that's a con though. I think that's just a fact. Being pretty funny. Yeah, I'd love to see more reviews with people who can actually say this. In my opinion, in my standards, a person. Yeah, it's just kind of chill. There's a lot of setup for the comedy, but it's hilarious when the punchline is delivered. Yeah, I like them. Not everybody likes them. After reading the show, I'm so glad it is generic when they call it. Yeah, okay. Call for more gags. Yeah, I like this sort of stuff. I'm not for the fourth wall break all the time, but it can because it kind of gets repetitive. But every now and then it's alright. Light-hearted action, comedy, Chinese. Yeah, if you're looking for light-hearted, 100% agree. It's fun. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I don't really know. How do you decide whether it's three or one or five? I don't really get that. I don't even know that one or five is the right word. It's either read or don't read. Traps are everywhere. Not really okay to business now. Really good interactions and I like the reactions and interactions. Yeah, side characters are adorable. Might get slightly confusing. Yeah, because there's so much to damn remember. Yeah, I don't know. But maybe even stronger on the side time where we can like knock yellow out with like a peel from a melon seed. Hide their abilities. These reviews are always the best. Not honest, upright type. Yeah, I'm so sick of them. Main girl's kind of confusing. Everything is not. Yeah, we're too early in to say that. Slice of life. Yep. Quick reader, range. They're getting fucking long now. I know that there's chapters. The authors told me where there's 6,000 characters. There's one with 8,000 characters. I'm not so sure that I'm looking forward to. I mean, reading is fun, but translating it is going to take me a long time. Spoiler: if you compare this, it would be enough for 1 to 2 episodes. So it is pretty much. Yeah, absolutely agree. So for making a judgment whether you like, yeah, 1 or 2. He just didn't want to just retire. All the chaos for him. This, though I know, probably too far to do it. Yeah, I like that. Let's have a look at the other one. I'm gonna go a little bit quicker now because this is getting a little bit long. Stormbreaker. Very clear in these things, but for me, the best way is cunning old fox. A bit perverted. I don't know if he's cunning. I think he likes money too. Yeah, and doesn't want his leisure life to be interrupted. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like he prefers his tranquility. He prioritizes it over solving his problems. And if he's going to solve it, he doesn't want it to be affected. So he's not like with the other review. It's like just bust out your skills and that's pretty dead, brain dead to me. Or he has perverted or so what's in his head. Totally unclear. Yeah. I don't mind the patience. It would be boring. Just resolve instantly and flawlessly. Yeah, he's so strong. He's so strong that if we just go in there and if he could solve everything with his skills, then this story would be over after what, like 5 chapters. So it's kind of brain dead thing to say. I'm talking about the previous reviews here. Like how you don't need to take it seriously. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, the foreshadowing in it is for real. Having quite captivating in the series about no be here and now, which albeit though extreme, also injustice from you jerk and egotistical. Yeah. Um, just gonna say this as well because Shrift, he can be master, can be a teacher, but in my experience training in martial arts schools, we don't say master, we don't say teacher. We always call Shrift. We never called him like master. We never go, hey master, what's this? We go, Shrift, how do you do this? You know, so I don't. I stick to Shrift because it's, in my experience, that's what we say even in English. And also a cynical person who could be a jerk with a he loves being also in a rare condition acting. Yeah, yeah, I like his reactions there. Um, so you can expect some treats from the others. Yeah, it's quite yeah. Yeah, there's no explicit bed scenes, so yeah. Please note, this is not a harem series, so yeah, it doesn't really feel like all of them kind of feel it, and yeah, they just kind of fall for him, and well, at least Shani Run hasn't, and I hope she doesn't, but I don't think he's willing to hook up with any of them at this point, because he's got his own past, and as far as we know, it's not something he's proud of or something he wants everybody else to be linked up to, like his martial art, um, Ming Su Wen. He doesn't want her in it, so that's why he's keeping her at arm's length as well. I love the concept that drew it well. It's a pretty flat story, which becomes less entertaining. Whatever's going on is always not funny as funny. Yeah, I mean, if you don't like the comedy style, you don't like it. It's also annoying. There's no romance though, so I don't know what you're saying. So far, the only two people we know who actually have feelings for him are Ming Su Wen, who's been with him since he was young, and so you're saying that you feel falling for him for no reason at all? Oh no, wait, hang on, sorry. MC falling for beautiful women for no reason. No, he doesn't fell for nobody. The only person we actually know he likes is Ming Su Wen in his monologue in Volume 2. Uh, sorry. But yeah, he hasn't really fell for any of them. Like, he's kind of perverted towards Shiniran, and even with Bai Ling, he just kind of like um, teases her and is kind of somewhat attracted to her, but there's nothing to say that he has any feelings for them. If anything, she has feelings for him. So you got your at this point here, Volume 1, Chapter 44, you've only got 2 females, so the MC falling for beautiful women, there's only 2, dude. I don't know what you're saying here. It's unwarranted. Definitely not a correct statement. I think it's interesting and sensible. He pulls him out of his ass and gives me. I don't know what you're talking about. Continue to. Okay, I don't know where. Yeah, again, like it's an okay story or a bad story. Like that's yeah. I don't know how you can whether you like it or not. It doesn't make it good or bad. People just don't get that for some reason. Um, yeah, well, no H scenes as I was saying. Ideas is something which is new. The stories like read that can make you laugh. But stories on its own. Yeah, too early. I mean, chapter 14. Cannot stand for himself at all. I'm not sure you just all of a sudden start punching your shrivel across the head, man. I'm not sure. No pressure after his master tricks him and he ends up bedridden. His shrivel is actually like fucking OP as can be. So he would get curb stomped if he even tried. Setting to be a predictable plot. There's nothing really to be developed when we're going backwards. So I don't think for C tier here actually understands that. I mean, it's setting to be a predictable plot. I can guarantee whatever he's going to say is not. I think Deathblade was saying that too, where everybody says this, but none of their predictions are hardly ever right, and when they are right, it's usually like a stroke of luck. Making jokes about it. And the start was funny, it was the same old stuff, yeah, but it's the running gag. Like, it's gonna be in there forever. It's the style he's decided to adapt doesn't make it good or bad. Um, yeah, I don't know that it just becomes better. You either just get more interested in it or you don't. The background is it got tricked using as a test subject. Um, Random. I know Michi knows Chinese as well. So the now MC may become after physical sufferings. What would you do when you're the most powerful fighter? Retire, of course, because being strong is not profitable. Yeah. So even these people can tell. No, and I shouldn't have said that. Even Kemichi here, Kemichi can see that. Yeah. So you can't really just solve things just by being strong. At least not in this, in the world of this novel. The narration is just gold. The translation is thank you. Nothing junky. It sounds a mood. Yeah, no, that happens in Chinese. You're gonna get long sentences. I had to cut them. The story is only starting. Usually before update. I stand my ground. Will update within a few months. This one caught my attention from nothing. Alright. Anyway, so that's the end of them. Thank you for your reviews. Thank you for reading them. I trust me, all those ones that like these things, I don't actually take offense to any of them. It's still a fun read for me, nonetheless. Your reviews, that is. Thank you. The author appreciates it too. So I think we can cut that here now.